Grace. In this video, I want to talk about when there is a lack of community when a person's dating, and why it really is, a lot of it is about a lack of accountability, which brings about a problem. My experience in dating, it might not seem like that, but you do need for others to know, my experience, my opinions, I could be wrong, for others to know that person you're dating, that know you. Okay, somehow, some way it's connected. You're all connected. So that person would feel some kind of accountability. You know, some kind of, in a way, pressure to behave, to not be, you know, like a narcissistic, abusive person, or, you know, nothing is foolproof though. But they could be behind the scenes, you know, covert. So somebody knows them. Somebody else may have recommended them. They may have said, you know, somebody needs to know that knows them and knows you, like I said. Now, these days, a lot of people do the online dating things. There's so many different ways. I know I did I've done many myself in the past, but one of them was that it was a BBS I mentioned, and everybody chatted on it. And we met in person. A lot of people met in person as a weekly get-together kind of thing. And, you know, met people, and that way you get to know them in person, their body language, you know, also, not just the way they type or text or whatever. And so that was a good thing, and other people knew them. But, yeah, like I said, it's not always foolproof, because not everybody really gets to know everybody in a group. You know that. Some people are just kind of like sitting there on the sidelines, and they seem like a really great person, but nobody's really getting to know them. You know, like they said, it's the quiet ones. Yeah. Now, the thing about dating like that is that everybody kind of knows your business. It's like a small town. Everybody knows your business, you know. That's the stereotype of small towns, but yeah. And I remember when I went through it, I was saying, I don't want people to, you know, to know that, because they start meddling and they get involved in stuff, and it just causes problems, and there's all this gossip and on down that road. And yeah, it does happen. But accountability is so important, really, seriously. I dated, when I just met somebody online, a guy online, and talked on the phone, that kind of thing. No, there was no kind of like group gets together and everybody meets. No, you just met one person and, you know, went out into the world and met at a restaurant, this public place, you know. And there's nobody else around that knows, you know, or nobody knows that person that knows you and has actually met him and, you know, dealt with him and knows his personality and what he does and all that. You just, you know, blind. You're just going in there, a really, truly blind date kind of thing. Yeah. That is, to me, that's the worst. That would be the worst. And I did way too much of it. Yeah, and I met some really crazy guys. Seriously. Okay, so what's the solution? Well, nothing, like I said, is foolproof. Nothing is foolproof. And nobody can guarantee your safety. No situation can guarantee safety. Well, you know, there are probably some extremes, but I don't think you're going to go that far. Yeah. So I personally think a good, you know, a good way to go about it, which, like I said, can't be foolproof, is to not to date someone where you work, because these days, you know, and it's been a long time, employers don't really like that. You know, for people who work on a job together to date. You know, in the past, you know, many years ago, you know, if actually women were allowed to work at some place, it would be that, you know, they would lose an employee, because, you know, back in the day when women found a husband, they stopped working and became homemakers and mothers, you know, stay-at-home moms and stuff like that. And then, you know, later on, it's just that they're going to have that they fear problems at work because of the couple. So I mentioned this in a video, seems like a long time ago, that what I think is good is, you know how you work at a place and they have, when you go to work there, they do a background check and on a person. So we all know that people can get past a background check too, that are bad people, but I think it's it's a bit more. It's a bit. At least you have something. It's nothing's foolproof. I'd say that again. But since you can't really date somebody you work with, what about the old-fashioned matchmaker kind of thing? Or setting your friend up for a blind date kind of thing. Where you work, people had to be, go through all of that. Maybe where your friend works, she or he had to go through all that. So the people around you, working there, hook them up with the other person. Well, hook up these days means something different. It has for years. But, get them together. Matchmake them. And, okay, they can't guarantee that it's all going to be safe, but at least there's some accountability. At least there's some. So that's my thought. Now, that could work for, I can't see it being as, where you're working with the person. I think that's very, very controlling, that bosses don't like that. They try to control so much of your life. I know I'm being conspiracy theorist here. Yeah, and you're at work and it's all, you have to follow rules and all that kind of stuff. So even in your after work life, who you date is your business, is my view. But I think that might be the second best, is to have a friend, matchmake you and you matchmake your friend, all like that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I think I've done enough for this topic. Well, not really, but I got more. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would. And I'll talk to y'all on another